Live from Brooklyn, New York. We are here at Salon Leahing, 732 Washington Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. If you're looking for a professional hair stylist, beautician, barbers, you come to the right place. We have a podcast there every Friday, and we welcome you to come in and join us. You can also call us at 718-230-4100. And you can also, if you're looking for the professionals to do your hair, you can also call them for an appointment. So, our topic tonight, we're talking about prenuptials. My dear co host brought that up to my attention, and she's going to talk to me, to talk to us, talk to Brooklynites, and to whomever is out there that wants to listen to us. Again, this is Community Cuts live from Brooklyn, New York. So, that subject is very touching to many of us. And it's also, you can also add in trust as well, because prenuptial means before. Do we want to tie the knot before we know? How do we put love into this, include it into this composite of a relationship? Do we have is the stakeholders of our pockets more important than marriage or the mate that we have chose? So it's important to some people about it's important for people to sign prenuptials. Some people, and some people it doesn't really matter. For me, it doesn't really matter, but some people it does matter to them. So, with that being said, I want to introduce my co host. Introduce yourself, co host. Since you brought it to my attention, we're going to do this. Thank you.
My name is Mink. Well, it's not my real name, but that's what I'm known as. And
And we saw each other in the community, and she came to me. She said, "Dude, look, prenuptials is a topic to talk about, and people are asking, and people are talking about prenuptials." I say, you know what? We can do it if you come along with me. And here she is today. And so tell us, do you agree with prenuptials, or is it something that's
yeah.
you do?
Well, yes and no. I don't really care too much because of the type of person that I am. So I'm not trying to be with someone for what they have. It never impressed me because a lot of times when they do have, they're jerks anyway. They can be. So that's a whole nother, I guess that's another subject. Not a subject, but like how you have your main subject and then you got your subtitles under that.
Correct. Correct.
So with me, if someone were to ask me, to sign a prenup, I would do it. I don't really care. And the only reason why I say that is because if they came into the relationship with whatever it is that they had and they valued that, one, I'm not going to marry you unless I really have a real good idea who you are. So, that being said, I'm not going to sit at the table with you having dinner and you're going to have steak and lobster and you're going to have me not living the same level as you are. You're going to have me living at the same level that you are, right?
Of course. I mean, that's what
Okay.
it's all about.
Right. So it's not like I'm going to be eating rice and pork and beans, which I love, by the way, and you're going to be having that, or anything that you're doing, you're going to pretty much have me at the same standard of living that you are. Yes or no?
Correct.
If you're going to go on vacation, I say from a scale of 1 to 10, you're going to ask me 8.5 out of the time, do I want to go? Where would I want to go? Because I'm the wife.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
More than likely, you're going to do that. And if you already have an idea of what you're going to do, you're pretty much taking me along with you, and we're going to be at the same standard. We're going to be at the same nice place. Yes or no?
Correct.
So, I would, but I would also have a big but in there as well. Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's good. It's good. So I think that with when I see prenuptials, I see trust. Do you
Hmm.
trust that person, or you are just is it a question mark in your mental that you don't know whether that person is going to be whatever? And so the pre also means before, right?
Hmm.
So that means that there's something that, hey, I don't know if I trust him, or I don't know if I trust her, or she doesn't know if she trusts me. So we're going into this relationship, into a deep dive relationship in a marriage that is, we don't know. It's just an open sea. And if you're going into that kind of marriage, then one may say they need a prenuptial. One may say, I love you. It doesn't really matter about
Sorry.
um, what kind of money that we have, what kind of ends that we're tying up, and what kind of money that you were getting involved in. So some people it matters, but some people it doesn't matter because money makes we make the money. The money does not make us. And if you do love the mate that you're getting tying knot with, it doesn't really matter because we can make it together, we can lose it together, and we can start all over together. So it's about the energy that both of you have as a couple.
One, all right, so I'm not trying to confuse anyone. Everything that you're saying is true. So if there's a lot of love, you wouldn't be asking me to sign a prenup to begin with. I
Correct.
know me personally, if it's me that have it and I'm with someone, we already had this discussion where
Mhm.
I'm not settling for anybody. Remember we had that discussion.
We did.
So
We did.
if I'm not settling for you and I'm with you all the way, whatever is mine is yours. That's just me. I'm a little too free hearted and is a little dumb on my part with some of the mentality that we're dealing with in nowadays. So if you don't find somebody that's on your level, think that you do, feel the way you do, you
Then
run the
why?
risk.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
do run the risk.
Then why get involved?
Right.
There's a young lady that said something to me. Hey, Lori, out there, I know you're watching tonight, and we talked about this earlier today. And Lori said the same thing that you said. She said, what's mine is yours, and I agree. I agree with that. And so there's a level when you say that, then there's a level of trust that's coming out of you, and you're leveling up in terms of trusting that person.
Mhm.
And it's not about per se the money. It's not about the high society life. It's about you and that person. It's about that the inner core, that person that lives within.
Right. So that's the foundation. When you go in on it, whatever is being built around that foundation should be strong.
Correct.
So that foundation is called trust, right? So if you ask me to marry you, you should know from jump that you trust me. Why would you ask somebody that you don't really care for to marry you? If you do something like that, there's another agenda.
Hmm. I agree.
So if you're the male coming in with the finances, so to speak, to the point where you feel like, what, if something were to go awry, I stand to lose, blah, blah, blah. Before you ask this person that you're going to marry, you should already have a good idea. It's not like you just met her today and then 2, 3 months later you want to marry her. If you feel that strongly about it, then in a case like that, well, technically deep down inside, you don't really know her. You don't know what she's capable of. And a lot of stuff that I'm seeing on social media, I can't believe I can't believe half the things that I'm seeing on social media. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the stuff, I'm like, this has got to be a setup. I mean, it's got to be like it's got to be it can't be real. They got to set this up to make this look like this, unless they just want ratings, because I can't believe it. But one instance is I saw this one guy who proposed to a girl who was in her car.
Oh, really?
Proposed to her. He was standing on the outside and she was in the car, and he gave her a ring, diamond ring.
Okay.
But because it wasn't the size that she wanted, she took the ring and threw it.
She did.
She threw it on the floor and started crying, boo-hooing, and telling him that he could have did better than this. That's the case where you do a prenup. Yes or no?
I concur.
Yes or no?
I concur.
That's that. Yeah.
Yeah,
this
I
is
concur.
this is something. I'm like, this is guy. Like he was. I don't know if he just seemed like he was so happy that he was gonna propose to her. So whatever it was, he gave her the ring, and she. I mean, I wanted to slap her personally. She was boo-hooing, threw the ring down, and said, "You could have did better than this." So you know what you in for, right?
Right. Not that one.
Not that one. But if I'm in love with you and I believe you're in love with me, we could live in a cardboard box as long as you try. As long as you trying.
That's real. That is real.
You see what I'm saying? And then when you come in and you start building, and I've been there from the beginning because I was in that cardboard box with you. I'm not signing jack. Don't come to me with no prenup. I'm not signing jack because I was there. Am I right?
You're correct.
So that's when, if you were to, okay, I'll sign that prenup, but then there's going to be a big but. That big but is you cheat, you die. All your money coming to me. It incinerates in your hand as you even think about giving me that prenup. Yes or no? Because I was there.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to that I understand what you're saying. And if you do truly love someone, the prenup is really is second nature or third nature. It's not the one that you want to go to.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be a nature at all.
All right.
But it's the society that we live in now, where I think a lot of it has to do with maturity. And you got those keeping up with the Joneses. I've met a couple of them. It's annoying. The couple themselves don't want to be with each other.
That's a problem.
A big problem.
Yeah. And no one wants to leave because it costs too much.
Hello.
Yeah.
That's why you got 2 and 3 generations, 4 generations still living together.
Yeah.
In New York.
Yeah.
Not even in New York. I mean, anywhere.
Anywhere.
Almost anywhere. You know what I mean? But if you had those keeping up with the Joneses, okay, well, we got to show face. Those are the ones that would be signing prenups. Because if you're keeping up with the Joneses half the time, you don't want to be together half the time. But for appearances, I'm only talking from people that I know, people that I've met.
So there was a guy that I met a while ago, and he's from Brooklyn, New York. So he came to me and says, "Hey, Duke, my wife, she says she's not in love with me, but she loves me." I said, "Well, that's a problem.
Walk.
That's a problem." So he was asking me, "What does that mean? Is it because in love and love means the same thing?" She says, "Not in love. That means that she'll help you if you need her to take you to the doctor, or you need her, whatever you need her to do, she'll take. But she's not in love with that core person that's you, that's within you, that's you." And so she's telling you, "I'm not in love," because when you're in love with someone, you can walk from here to Alaska to save them. It doesn't really matter what you go through, because you're going to go through just to get them out or just to save them. So in love and love is two different things. And if someone said they're not in love with you, then that prenuptial agreement, I don't know. You may want to sign it.
Why even go forward? I mean, I just don't get the mentality of it. I guess because I'm strong within myself. So I'm not going to ever, I can't say what I will and will not do. I just know what I haven't done.
Mm.
And all these years of being alive and an off and on relationship whenever the last relationship was, but I'm not going to settle. And
wait a minute. I'm glad you said this to me. And I'm just thinking about, you have a son, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Would you tell your son to sign a prenup, or how would you deal with that?
okay, in this case, it wouldn't be too fair to say that because of his condition.
Well, I understand that. I know that.
Well, let's say, for argument's sake, he was one of those fly boys.
Correct.
Okay. And if he was the one that was the wealthy one,
Mm-hmm.
I would have to size his chick up. I have to size her up.
Mm-hmm.
Like if he went to the strip joint and he found her, oh, you signing? Because I can't make you.
I
can't control who you fall in love with.
I hear you.
But you go there, you already know when you walked in the door.
Right.
They're looking for money. All right, and you gonna bring this chick here?
Mm.
And now you telling me you gonna marry her?
Mm.
Don't tell me she pregnant.
Oh.
Oh, you signing.
You see, there's two different sides to this story.
You sign it. You sign it.
Yeah,
Well,
two different
come on,
sides.
because you already know she don't love him.
Right.
9 times out of 10.
Right.
No, we're gonna say 9.8, 9.9, 9.9.5. Percent of the time, she's not in love with him. She's looking for what she can get, right? And then there's that 1% where she might really have feelings for him, and she's looking for somebody not to judge her for what she does.
Mm-hmm.
But I still have to. I would have to size her up if I had control over it. You know what I mean?
You know, that's interesting because not in our case, but they have families from the Middle East that they pick their mate, their spouse for them.
Right.
And they get into this relationship and, without even knowing each other, they may be across the country. I know a friend of mine, he's that kind of, comes from that cloth, and his parents, their parents, they picked each other. They picked his mate for him. And he's in love. He loves her. She loves him, but you just don't know. You don't know. So there's different variables that happens in the family structure and the family communities. So, that's how people do it. As a matter of fact, if they do separate, they sign their own documents. It does not go to the civil court or to the courts.
Mm-hmm.
They already signed off on it, and this is what we agreed to. We agreed to 10, 30, 50, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't go to the courts. And so that kind of relationships atmosphere is totally different from what we know as living in America.
You already know Western society. Western society. You already know it.
Yeah. So
what we're talking from is from the Western society perspective.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
But you have people living here in the West that brought their Eastern society with them, and they're using that as their compass. And some people here in the West, like you and I, we're using the Western compass, and so it's combobulated. It's just so mixed up.
It is. It's different for different people. And I didn't want to sound like a hypocrite when I said that I would have to size her up. But if I had control over it,
as you should.
You know what I'm saying? Because let's say it's coming from the family wealth.
Mm-hmm.
If there was family wealth, I would tell him, like, this is something that you would have to consider. And I feel like this. If she truly was having feelings and she didn't want to be judged and blah, 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 and she was doing the right thing, and let's say he messed up, I would take care of her. If she was doing what she was supposed to do, she dropped that lifestyle. She showed that, I am a human being and blah, blah, blah. And, I did the right thing. It wasn't me that cheated on him. It was him that cheated on me. I would take care of her. I would make sure that because it wasn't her fault. You know what I mean? And the same thing that I would think.
That's the same thing I believe that's happening in the Eastern, that relationship in the East, how they handle business is totally different from the Western hemisphere. And so they do take care of each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say in a case where it was me and I was with someone, let's say, we thought, because the intention was to be together and not walk away from each other. That's the intention. You asked me to marry you. You already know how I feel about you. you know, and I would like to think that I already know how you feel about me.
Mm,
I wouldn't expect you to ask me that. But if you did, you would see
mhm,
how I truly feel because I'll say, okay, but if you cheat, you need to put that in there.
mhm,
You have to. And the reason why I say that you would have to put something in there to take care of me at the end of it is because the idea is when you ask me to marry you, or you wanted me to be with me, but you're still trying to feel things out, blah, blah, blah. Right. Um, if you were to be the one to step out and do the wrong thing, I was uprooted from where I was.
mhm,
I got to start all over, right down to finding some place to live because I'm not going to stick with you.
right. And you're right. I mean, but y- there's also all kinds of variables in that, because it's the
Absolutely.
energies of each other. Sometimes, your mate may want to hold back from you or may want to treat you in a certain way that
Elaborate on that. Treat you in a certain
well,
way.
sometimes people they go out, because of whatever their relationship is in that marriage. And
Elaborate.
well,
I need to understand exactly what you're saying.
sometimes I'm just saying, sometimes men they get treated a little better from other women because of there's no issues there. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a right thing. I'm not saying that at all. But I love that stare. It's very,
That's
powerful.
why I said elaborate on this because I
So
want to
what I'm saying,
understand what you're saying. Okay.
what I'm saying that, when you do get married, there
Hmm.
should be a level of trust. There should be a level of for both parties, and both parties should know each other because, you just can't hold back on this one or treat this one a certain way and expect that person to just go along with it. And so there's a lot of variables in marriage. There's a lot of variables in structure. Not that we should do those things.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about.
Okay. So,
Now look at me now. Look at me
so
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So you're in a relationship.
Correct.
Okay. So sometimes what you do may change her and vice
And vice
versa.
versa.
And that's probably one of the variables that you're talking about.
Correct. So if before you go, if you're flirting with somebody and he sees that,
You
don't.
need to check her. I'm okay with that. You need to
Okay.
check
There
her
you
because
go.
you know
There you
why?
go. There
Because
you
you
go.
can't say you didn't know.
There you go. So
You can't say you didn't know.
that's the
Look,
variable
yeah,
that's the variable that I'm talking
yeah.
about.
But then it comes to a certain point where like you know what, like I already told you about this. I done told you about this. I told you about this. Enough is enough. So what are
Right.
we gonna do if you can't control yourself? One of us walks or what?
Correct.
Because I'm talking from another place where that type of disrespect on that type of love level,
Mm-hmm.
it's destructive.
Very.
It's destructive, and it makes you feel suicidal sometimes. And I'm going there when I
Mm-hmm.
say that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to take me no year of
Mm-hmm.
watching you doing this. It's not going to take me no 10 months to watch you keep doing this to me, and it's not going to take me no 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna see a pattern. Once I see this pattern, usually with me, I can't speak for everybody or every woman, but I mean, one time you did it, the second time I don't raise an eyebrow. The third time,
Should
nine times out of 10, you don't even get a third time. Because it's like,
exactly.
what is this?
Exactly.
Now, if I don't have the energy to say, I'm gonna do it to you. I don't got the energy to do that. For that, I'd rather walk.
And that's what I'm talking about. There's different variables in a marriage that happens in the marriage. And the greatest things that there is respect. Right? And once you disrespect someone, either she disrespects you or he disrespects her, it's a challenge. It's a challenge.
It's depending on how much you're willing to tolerate.
Right. Right.
It's depending on how much you're willing to tolerate. So if you're that insecure about yourself
Mm,
and you're gonna go through, months and years of this, then that's on you. You decided to do that. Don't all of a sudden explode. You know what I'm saying? And then, oh, now I'm gonna cheat back on you. You
Mhm.
were looking for a window. 9 times, I mean, if you feel like you want to cheat, you've been wanting to do that. That's how I look at it.
Mhm.
Because not only did you want to do that, but you wasn't feeling that deeply for that person to begin with, to have somebody else woo you away that easily.
And I think that once you open the door,
It's over.
no, it's not necessarily over. No, it's not over. People do forgive people. People do forgive people.
And
What
the
I'm
same
saying,
people that are forgiven are the ones that go right back and do it
I'm
again.
not.
And I'm only going by my experience.
I'm not saying that that you're not going to forgive.
No, 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 no,
But
no,
what
no, no,
what?
no. I'm not saying. I didn't mean to. I'm not saying that I wouldn't forgive.
Mhm.
I'm just saying that a lot of times, from
If something is worth, if something is worth, it's precious to
saving.
you. If something is precious to you, right? There's a thing called forgiveness, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing that, and I'm not judge. We're not judging because we're not God. But we know that there's a there's a name, there's a meaning called forgiveness. I forgive you. Now, can we start this? We already figured this out. Can we start this all over again, or pick up where where we should have left it and pick up? Because if you forgive, then you can be forgiven. And it's not about holding judgment or holding someone hostage, because you don't want to be in a relationship when you feel like you're being held hostage, right? And that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I'm saying there's a lot of variables in a relationship, in a marriage. And so there's prenuptials and there's no prenuptials. And because there's variables, you have to look at the entire chessboard, not just one piece, not just another. You got to look at the whole chessboard.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Uh
So
huh.
look, let's say you cheated on me, right? You cheated on me, right? And
Uh
for whatever reason, I found out there's a point where, okay, look, if I love you, that deep, sincerely love
huh.
you, then I can forgive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But if I am only tempered in the surface of love, I'm not going to forgive you. I'm going to move on. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you look at the word of God, right? Okay. If you want to go there, right? Look how, I mean, there's a lot of people who do things, right? They whatever. And they're forgiven. Now, it depends on how far. Do you want to go north or do you want to go south? Which one is up to you? So I love going north. So that's me. I don't know about everybody else, but that's me.
You know why I'm laughing?
Well, you laughing.
Because we're coming from two. You're coming. I'm gonna tell you how I took it.
Okay.
You coming from the cheating on, doing the cheating. And I'm
No,
coming
no,
from the
no.
being cheated on.
No,
So he's coming. You're
I,
coming from that. Like, yeah, forgive me.
no, I'm looking
I'm
at.
teasing. I'm
I
teasing. But
know,
I'm just
but
saying that.
listen. I'm looking at life practicality. It's
Mhm.
practical, and I'm looking at the things that happened to me in my life, and I'm not going to call out names because it's not good. But put it this way, I can forgive people. I can forgive people and move on.
Me too. I've
And
done it.
so I am, and with that, I mean, I didn't have anything. There was no lumps of money at that point in my life, but it's it depends on how much you love that person and how much you want to deep dive with that person. And if the person has a child for you, it's a deep dive as well. You want a family structure. You want someone to you don't want that family structure divided. So there's a lot of variables in this, which brings on or brings in the prenuptial agreements if we do have a prenuptial agreement, right? So that's where I'm coming
Yeah,
from.
I know. I just had to laugh because I was just seeing your whole story before
Oh no,
me. I'm
no,
just
no,
messing
no,
with you, but
no, no. I mean, if I
that's very
told you some of
true.
my story, you would say, I hear you, Duke.
Okay.
All right,
I
and
believe that.
that's where I'm coming from.
Um I guess with the society too, we're so on men doing the cheating more than the women do the cheating and this I don't but I mean it's
I'm gonna give you just a
no,
tiny.
I know it's bad. Women are
I've
bad.
been cheated on. Okay, so I'm gonna give you that. All right, so that's my perspective.
Hmm.
And like again, if you have a big heart, then hey, you can forgive. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's all.
And I'm saying that I agree
Mm,
because I have forgiven. And when you think 20 years off and on of forgiving, that's
mm,
a lot of forgiving. You
right,
get tired
right.
and then that wall comes up, blah, blah, blah. But that's a whole different scenario. But as far as the prenup is concerned,
Correct.
because I have this, I am secure in who I am. I've never been impressed with other people's money. To me, it enhances a relationship, but it is not the relationship because a lot of times when somebody is flaunting and flashing and this and that, they're not really about much. Not, you
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, I don't think
Hmm.
they're too much about anything. And if they are, they're not too much about anything about you. It's about being a fisherman to fish for the fish who got a meal with the worm, and then the fisherman got the meal. So, in other words, the fish got a meal, which is the worm, but the fisherman got the fish, which is the meal, right? And then he moved on. He went back and got another line. And you understand what I'm saying? Because he lured and lured and lured, and it doesn't really mean that there's anything to it. Now, if there's something real and you believe that is real from the way he's treating you. Now as long as he's treating you good and he's respecting you and he's been consistent showing you that this is who I truly truly am. But I don't believe that is enough time invested in this. It's fair. I think it's fair. If he says, "Look, I want to start a life now. I want to get married now. I want to start a life." You know, but and I mean if I have any common sense, yeah, but we've been together a year. We've been together, okay, maybe 2 years. I don't have a problem signing a prenup. I really don't. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, you hear that, family? She doesn't have a problem signing the prenup. She's good. She's good. With me, it's I wouldn't even mention the prenup to be honest
Amen.
with you, because I feel that I'm it, and you know I can protect myself in the sense that even if she has more money than me, I would not go after her money because
Right.
I am.
Right.
So why would I want to go after your money when I know that I am? So
Right.
and when you love somebody, it's not about
Financial
it's
and
not the
physical.
financial end.
Yeah.
No, it's more about the spirit of that person. It's more
Right.
about the energy of that person, and at the same time, you can build back or you can try to build back because if you go into a relationship without with no trust, then that relationship may fall because you're not trusting from the beginning.
Right.
So that's the way I'm looking at it.
I don't think it'll even manifest into anything if there's no trust. That's just where
Right.
my heart is at. It
So
wouldn't manifest into anything. Like, why are we even here?
well, you have women, men too. They get into a relationship, they see the bank account. Somebody asks me, "What's your bank account look like?" So you have women that will go into
Yeah.
wanting to know
Ratchet.
what you got. If you don't have anything, then please miss me.
Hmm.
And if love is involved in it, so love can't be involved if you saying miss me if you don't have it.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry for the Western women, people in the West. They tend to look for Do you have deep pockets? If you have deep
Exactly.
pockets, then I can talk to you. So if I don't have deep pockets, then you only love people for deep pockets. What's that
Why are
about?
you even using that word? Can I say something? Um, there's a town that I was raised in, well, in the South, right? A little small town. And I would go and visit when I was a teenager. And then I would go back, when I was pregnant for my son. And when I went when I would go down, like, right before I had my son, I would just go down and visit. And they would have these shacks. They call them clubs, but they were really
Mm-hmm.
shacks, like with the tin roof, and you know what I mean? It was
Mm-hmm.
the country. And they hadn't uh, what okay, I don't know how to say this without making it seem like I'm conceited. But like I said, it's a really small town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 5,000 people. I could be wrong. I don't know. But when you step into those little shacks, those little clubs, certain people who are not from there, you stand out, right?
Correct.
And the way they would, when I walked in trying to get my attention, they're going in their pockets and literally pulling out money. I had never seen anything like this before. So they're pulling out money and they're just counting it. I wish I could say that I'm exaggerating, but it was almost like we're back to that fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
I never understood that. So it's like that's the mentality down there where the men are so conditioned to trying to flock to grab you with the type of car that they drive,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of finances that they have. And even if it's not real, I just got paid and it looked like a lot of money, but I don't have, I mean, it was enough to just, I've never seen anything like that before in
I
my life.
I have heard of men. They break a $100 bill, $200, and they just get $1 bills or whatever to
To make it
make it.
look like, yeah,
Yeah. So that tells me,
how
because
shallow.
how shallow. What kind of country that we live in,
Exactly.
because you're getting this kind of um, we're living under this umbrella that we're getting this kind of information that is not about. It's not about love. It's about your pockets, what kind of car you drive, what kind of house you have,
Right.
whatever you have. And if a relationship is built on that, then we're in trouble. We are in trouble. What is love?
It's almost non existent.
And so, now men are going around, do I love this woman, or does she love me, or does she like me?
Mhm.
Because we live in a atmosphere of this America in the Western, atmosphere where that has is everything is about money. I can love a person if a person has zilt, a penny, rubbing two pennies together, rubbing two nickels together. It doesn't really bother me, because if I
Mhm.
love you, I love you.
Right.
I don't love you for your money. I don't love you for what you look like. I don't
Right.
love you for your Coca-Cola body. I love you for your spirit.
Right.
And so that tells me that the country that we're living in is about money. Is that's shameful. That's
Garbage.
you know.
I hate to be so blunt. So so a lot of times it's settling. You're settling. Because if you have to go after a person, that's pretty much what it boils down to. If you are going after a person because of what they have, you don't feel anything for them. You know at any given time you could walk away from them for the next highest bidder. You're settling. So you willing to lay down with this person, you're willing to do, eat with this person, go places with this person, knowing in your heart you feel black inside. But the only time you feel any kind of light is when they give you something that you're looking, whether it be a gift, whether be money, taking you on shopping sprees, or I got you these baseball tickets, or I got you a car.
It's a
It's
weak
it's
marriage.
pathetic.
That's a weak marriage.
It's
Yeah.
pathetic. It's pathetic. So you're settling for that person.
Yeah.
So that's why you can walk away easily from this
Yeah.
person. That's why you can't wait. You know what I mean? Like to go to the next person. So when these women are with these men that are cheating on their boyfriends, or they're cheating on their spouse, you know what I mean? it's because I didn't really want you to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have a conscience.
And I think it's the atmosphere that we're in. And, there's other people in other countries and they live differently. And it's not all about the money. It's not all about what you have, what you own. It's about the spirit of that person. With that being said, we're gonna wrap it up, and
Mhm.
I appreciate you coming on to Community Cuts to talk to us. Talk to us. Well, family, we had a great discussion about prenuptial, about love, about just about two people that need and want each other. And if it's real, they're willing to go through. If when you marry somebody, you put a diamond on their finger, the diamond is going through the pressure. In order to get that diamond out of let's say that lack of a better word, the rock, you had to put the diamond in pressure and to get to uh, to exhume it out of that core, out of that rock. So that means that when you put a diamond on your fiance's finger, she's been through. She's been tested. That's what it means, because you can't get a diamond without adding pressure on that rock. And so if you're going to do that, you got to make sure that that woman is the one, and it's not about what she looked like, but it's about who she is. Love her from the core of her, and hopefully she'll love you from the core, because it's not about the value that you have in her and she has in you. It goes way beyond the mirror. It goes way beyond, what you have in your account. It goes deep. So, with that being said, family, thank you for joining Community Cuts. Again, we're here at 732 Washington Avenue, Salon Leahing. If you're looking for professionals to do your hair, women, they're excellent. They're professionals. They are great. If you're looking for a great barber, hey, Ray is here. And so he's also an excellent barber as well. So come on in and support our business, Black businesses. And so we're looking forward for this 2024. We're in a whole new year. We're in a 9 year. That means completion. Also, come out and support our Black businesses. That we should continue to keep this money flowing within our community. God bless you all. Thank you. I'm gonna leave now, and I'll be right back.
And you said 24, she said 25.
5. I didn't want to correct you.
I'm sorry.
I didn't want to correct you.
You just told me, yeah.
I started to go like this.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
I like that ending.
You did?
The diamond.
Yeah.
Gotta go through a pressure.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
So you love from within mental, the aesthetics.
No, you left from within.
And so would you love Lizzo?
Listen.
What Lisa? I haven't heard anything about that in a long time. Lisa.
Who's that? Who's Liz?
Lizzo got some court cases going on with her team.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would love
I haven't
Lizzo,
heard
huh?
anything about her in a long time.
Sandra. He's asking me if I would love Lizzo.
Well, you say so. It's not external. It's internal.
Why you wouldn't love her?
Why I wouldn't love her?
Yeah.
I can't love Lizzo.
I have to go with what your type is.
I can't.
Hey, stop
Yeah.
lying.
I gotta go with my type.
What's your type?
You really want to know my type?
You know
Do you want to know my type?
You
You know
said
it's time. You know it's time.
you said you love people for their heart,
Yeah.
not for.
I'm not looking for your money.
Yeah, you going left with it though. All right, so
What's
What
the
he's
time,
saying-
yes, sir?
what he's saying is,
Thank you.
if he's attracted to you, that's already his type, right?
There you
So
go.
now he's gonna go in that direction, and that's what he's gonna pursue. So now whatever happens once he pursues it, then that's when I'm loving you from your heart. He's loving you from the heart because he's already attracted to you, right? Now it could
You could be
yeah,
broke and
Right.
have 2 pennies. It don't matter to me.
exactly,
Yeah.
right?
It don't matter.
How
But
good?
If he wasn't attracted to Lizzo to begin with, he's not gonna initiate that kind of relationship because where is there room for it to grow? I'm not attracted to you to begin with.
But listen, that money.
But he's saying he don't care about the money, so it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, he said that.
You see?
That's what he said.
You don't care about the money,
Good
right? It's not gonna happen.
That's what he says.
50 Cent got money. I'm not attracted to him. He can come after me all day. If I'm not attracted to him,
50 cents is not an attractive dude.
it don't matter though.
I think you need help, but I get your point.
He said, I think he needs help.
He do. Very catty.
I'm just saying though, let's say he saw me and he was trying to pursue me. If I'm not attracted to you, that's something that, and let's say, okay, all right, he wore me down. I'm settling for him because now I know from jump I'm not attracted to you.
You old school, huh? Love
I'm
first.
like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, look, the attraction is what opens the door. You see what I'm saying? The attraction is what opens the door. So if both doors are open,
Sure.
you see what I'm saying? Now, what's